मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवनं च निरुपं सागरजातं सगणस्य रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं निराधा कृष्णपदं सगणरहितां श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत् गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषावानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So Hare Krishna, today is the most auspicious Advent appearance day of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He is our grand spiritual master and he is a prominent Acharya and the disciplic successor of Gaudiya Vaishnava. So we should know that why we are celebrating, why we are giving utmost respect to the predecessor Acharya. The scripture says that the acharyas are not ordinary personalities. The acharyas, they are representative of Krishna. So they come for a mission to enlighten the people in general from the suffering of the insult of Maya. They have their mission. They are the bona fide representative of the Lord. They come for these welfare activities. There are so many branches of welfare activities, but most of them are in the interest of the body, just like cancer hospital, free food distributions, cloth distribution, poor feeding, old age home. All these philanthropic activities are branches of welfare activities, are primarily and predominantly meant for the interest of the body. But spiritual education begins with that I am not this body, I am the eternal soul. Na hanyate hanyamane sarira. Deinam svinjatha dehi kaumaram jovanam cha. Tatha dehantara prapti. So Bhagavad Gita starts with this education, a rudimentary, fundamental knowledge that we are not this body, we are the soul. So the so-called philanthropic activities is a temporary measure only for the welfare of the body, because body anyway dies. Antavata imadeha nitya sujukta sarira. The, the body will perish at the time of death, but the soul will remain. So, but these acharyas, the Vaishnava acharyas, they comes for the paropakara, for the welfare activities of the people, not for the interest of the body, but interest of the soul. Because everyone in this material world is suffering due to forgetfulness of the Lord. They have now encased pathetically in this material body. Eternally, everybody is spirit soul. Mamayansa jiva bhutta jiva Mamayansa jiva bhutta sanatana. So everybody is eternal part and parcel of the Lord. By forgetfulness of the Lord, we have suffering in this world. So the acharyas comes to remind us, enlighten us, educate us, our relationship with Lord. Who am I? What is my real identity, constitutional position? What is my relationship with the Lord? What is the ultimate goal of life? The ultimate goal of life is the welfare of the soul, not welfare of the body. Therefore, these acharyas are very exalted. They are very exalted because they have come for that mission, for the upliftment, upliftment of these living entities suffering in this material world without any knowledge. Therefore, we chant Om Ajnanatimirandasya because we are in darkness. Most of the people, 99.9 people, they do not know they are not the body, they are the spirit soul. Their ultimate goal is to go back to home. They do not know that their real home. Therefore, Vaishnavas, Acharyas are very paropakar. They do this welfare activities. Therefore, they are recognized by the Lord. They are sent by the Lord. They are recognized by the Lord. And they are very exalted. They are very glorified. And they do that by practice himself, by conducting himself, achara, by their conduct. Because Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur used to say that a saintly person is seen not through the eyes, through the ears. I may have beard, I may have saffron cloth, but what I am speaking, what is my activities? Am I doing the welfare activities? Am I speaking what Krishna speaks? Because Krishna's mission, the Supreme Lord mission, is to reclaim the conditioned soul from this material existence. This material existence is obnoxious, very, pernicious, precarious, excruciatingly painful, birth, death, age, old age. It is stated beautifully, these beautiful verses in Bhagavatam, that how this by turning away, we are now suffering. Janasya Krishnad vimukasya daivat adharmasilasya sudukhitasya anugrahaya charanti nunnam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. So it is said that, oh my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen soul who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. That is their mission. They are great philanthropic. They are not this ordinary philanthropics. They are philanthropic soul who interest in uplifting our soul. Interest in the soul, not the body, material body, temporary body. They travel. They show the compassion to fallen soul. And they do on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead. People do not know who is God. They do not read Shastra. They have no knowledge. They are like just animal, as a very polished edition of animal, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, in a very cultured way. Instead of animal eating on the street, we are eating in a very palatial place, nice place, nice foods, sleeping in a nice palatial building. We are having defending with so many technologies, so many weapons, and we have other things also like sex. Same thing. Either you sex on the street or sex on the hotels or bedroom. It is the same propensity, animal propensity of sleeping, eating, mating, defending, only in a cultured way. That does not mean the human being. Human being has got a special prerogative to understand the mission of life, goal of life. Dharma eka adhika vishesha. Dharmena hina pasuvi samana. Without that prerogative, we are all like animals. a special edition of animal, cultured animals like this. So therefore, these philanthropic souls like acharyas, they come on behalf of the Lord because Krishna is the Father. And we are all Mavayansa Jiva Loke Jivabhutta Sanatana. We are part and parcel of the Lord, Bhagavad Gita says. So everybody belongs to Krishna. But we turn away from the Lord. When we turn away from the Lord, it is said that Vimukha means Janasya Krishnat Vimukhasya Daivat. When we turn away from the Lord, Krishna bhuliya jiva bhagavan chakare. I want to enjoy separately from Krishna, independently of the Krishna. I want to be Krishna. I want to imitate Krishna. That time, one suffers in this material world. And we do not know that. We are oblivion to the fact. We are oblivion to the fact. It is said that we do not know that. Therefore, that is a very pathetic condition that we are so much covered by the Maya because Maya captures us when we turn away from the Lord. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path of life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desire. And all his plans are made for this purpose, for a temporary sense gratification. Such a person creates society of envy. Due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. People do not know due to ignorance that they are suffering. They are thinking that they're dreaming this place is permanent place. They do not know that our existence in an existential atmosphere, we cannot maintain our status quo. There is no question of suffering. The so-called suffering, happiness is impregnated with suffering. Is a temporary, is a flickering. It's a matter of few years. After that, we have to meet death, and death will take away all our associates, our assets, everything, our friends, relatives, everything which is dear and near to us. We are oblivion to the fact that death will unsettle our plans, our dreams and schemes. There are so many other things, diseases is suffering, old age is suffering, we cannot enjoy. So we are oblivion to the fact. And those who knows that they cannot even get a solution how to get out. It is stated that because for so long we have been trapped in this illusion that this material existence is the permanent place, it is our real home. But it is stated that because a person who has been covered by ignorance since time immemorial is not capable of effecting his own self-realization, there must be some other personality who is in factual knowledge of absolute truth can impart this knowledge to him. Without knowledge, we cannot get enlightenment. We cannot get educated. Just like a child, he need education. Therefore, we are sent to school. We are sent to the college to get education. But this education, spiritual education, is important. How to get out from this entanglement of material existence. As long as we are here, we will be suffering. And we cannot do anything. We need somebody with knowledge, just like we need a teacher, we need a professor to enlighten, to get educated on material education, in material knowledge, on material knowledge. Similarly, for spiritual education, we need a acharyas. Acharyas are the transcendental professor. They are sent by the Lord. Sometimes Lord himself comes and teach, like Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, taught by the Supreme Lord. He himself come taught, and sometimes he sent his own representative to teach us, to enlighten us, to educate us, so that we can get out from this encumbrance, from this entanglement, from this precarious condition of material existence. We can understand our goal of life, to get out from this platform, transient platform, temporary platform. Therefore, the acharyas are very important in our life. They are the treasure of life. Their words, their teachings are very, very influential, very, very transformative. Without them, there is no question. There is no question to get out. It is stated nobody can get out. Nobody can know the truth without enlightenment. So it is stated in this beautiful Krishna stated in this very nice verse that we need acharyas. It is stated that the conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort, but out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled Vedic literature and it supplements Puranas. The forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, the realized spiritual master and the super soul. Through these, he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is. He can understand that Lord Krishna is his eternal master and deliverer from the clutches of Maya. In this way, one can acquire real knowledge of his conditioned life, can come to understand how to attain liberation. So here it is clearly stated. All these Vedas, this knowledge, scriptural knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Shastra, they are the constitution, the law of God. This knowledge is created by the Lord to educate us by him or by his representative like Acharya, spiritual master. Otherwise, we cannot get out. We cannot understand. We cannot come to understand how to attain the liberations. We cannot acquire the real knowledge. We do not know our real home. It is stated in these beautiful verses that we do not know our real home. We are thinking this material world is our real home. The Brahman, my dear friend, even though you cannot immediately recognize me, can't you remember that in the past you had a very intimate friend? Unfortunately, you gave up my company, accepted a position as an enjoyer in this material world. Krishna is speaking, has come as a Brahmana, in that you do not know. We do not know that we have our eternal relationship, very intimate relationship with the Lord, but we have given up the company of the Lord and accepted this position, temporary position as an enjoyer of material world. My dear gentle friend, both you and I are exactly like two swans. We live together in the same heart, which is just like a Manas lake. Although we have been living together for many thousands of years, we are still far away from our original home. So we do not know our original home is Vaikuntha. We are far away. Original home of the living entity in Supreme Personality of Godhead is spiritual world. In the spiritual world, both the Lord and the living entity live together very peacefully. Since the living entity remain engaged in the service of the Lord, they both share a blissful life in spiritual world. However, when the living entity wants to enjoy himself, he falls down into the material world. Even while he is in that position, the Lord remains within him as a super soul, his intimate friend. Because of his forgetfulness, the living entity does not know that the Supreme Lord is accompanying him as the super soul. In this way, the living entity remains conditioned in each and every millennium. Although the Lord follows him as a friend, the living entity, because of his forgetful of material existence, does not recognize him. He does not recognize him in the conditioned state. Even a pig is thinking, I am happy. Every species of life, they think I am the happy. They do not know what is the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, this Krishna comes, the Supreme Lord, and Acharya comes. They speak. They speak. They enlighten, they educate. What they speak, whatever Krishna speaks. Sarva dharman parityagam mam ekam saranam. Only by surrendering to the Lord, our conditioning things will be removed. Our conditioning state will be removed by surrendering to Krishna, by engaging in his devotional service. That is the only solution Krishna has declared. And the bona fide representative, they repeat that one. They surrender unto him. Therefore, a saintly person is seen through ears, not through eyes, not by beard smearing like Naga Baba smearing ashes. No, what he speaks, if he speaks according to Krishna, Krishna wanted to bring us back. Therefore, he's telling, "Come back to me." He's convincing us, conversing us. Sarvadharman Parityada, you come. Why you are engaging in the service of the all the things? Why you are trying to enjoy where there is no enjoyment, there is no happiness? Material world is full of misery. It's like a jail to accommodate the criminals. So therefore, you come to me, surrender to me. The process of surrendering also. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakti. You think of me, you hear about me, you glorify me. Navada Bhakti, 9 kind of devotional service has been given so that we can come out. So the real saintly person always speaks whatever Krishna speaks. Therefore, they are glorified, they are exalted, they do the paropakara. They do paropakara. That is the real welfare activities of these acharyas. There's a beautiful verse. It says that Mahad Vichalam Ninnam Grihinam Dinachetasam Nishesha Bhagavana Kalpate Nanyata Kaschit. So, O my Lord, the great devotee person like you move from one place to another place, not for their own interest, but for the sake of poor-hearted grass, the householder. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another. So they travel, just like Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. Mission is to reclaim the conditioned soul, enlighten the conditioned soul, educate the conditioned soul. He traveled throughout the world. He established throughout India. He established 64 temples. Of course, he is not interested in temples. Institution will facilitate you, inspire you. But he wanted temple in everybody's heart. That was his mission. He wanted preaching. He do not want all other things. He wanted to enlighten, educate people. Unless people are educated that who am I, what is goal of life, what is this, who is God, what is my, why I am in awkward position of life, how to get out from this temporary material existence. All this knowledge, unless one cannot come to understand liberation, how to liberate. Therefore, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati established all this matter to give this association, give this education. The matters are living matter. He told that we want living matter, not the matter temple for living. He do not like nowadays everybody creating temple for livelihood. I will show the deities, people will come, give some money. He does not want that. No, I want a living matter. Living matter means Hari Katha, Krishna Katha, always the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has spoken because people do not know anything. Therefore, he compiled Veda, Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all the things. So every temple means an educational shelter where there is always a Hari Katha, Krishna Katha going on. And any places, wherever there is Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, that was a temple. That was the dham. Whether it is a house, whether it is outside, is a forest, everywhere. Wherever there is Hari Katha, that place is a place of pilgrimage. That place is a place of temple, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said. The moment we stop Hari Katha, that means there is no need of living. What is the use of living? Because we cannot, we have to repeat it, birth, death, disease. That's it. We are dying every day, every moment. The body is dying, decaying. Real living is that when we are hearing Hari Katha, that is purifying us, enlightening us, empowering us to get out from this obnoxious material existence. Therefore, he is so much stress and preaching activities. Bhagavata Dharma. He was not interested in this temple worship and all. He was interested in preaching, enlighten people. People are suffering only one reason, ignorance. Because Maya has captured. Maya has two functions, avaratmika. It will cover the knowledge. They do not know what is my goal. They cover the knowledge. And only that can be uncovered by preaching, by educating, enlightening people. Just like I am not enlightened, supposing a child is not enlightened how to cross the traffic light, if he get enlightened that when it is flashing red light you have to stop, when it is green light you have to go, it's fine, he's safe. He's safe. So therefore, out of all the things, this is transcendental knowledge is very, very important. It is stated these beautiful verses that how the transcendental knowledge is very, very important. Lord Shiva spoke, in this material world, there are different type of achievement, but all of them, the achievement of knowledge is considered to be the highest, because one can cross the ocean of science only on the boat of knowledge. Otherwise, ocean is impassable. The knowledge is important, transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot. There is another verses also in this regard. It is said that uh, the transcendental knowledge in relation with Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in complete suspension of the wheels of material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment. Being transcendental, it is approved by authority. Who could fail to be attracted? This is very important, because transcendental knowledge is very important. How to get out from this material existence? Who am I? What is my relationship with God? How to reach the ultimate goal of life? That is should be the human mission. The human life begins with the Atata Brahma Jigyasa, to inquiry about this thing. But people are so dull in this age of Kali. Therefore, Acharya has to come and travel house to house, city to city, to educate people. Sir, you are in a very precarious condition. You do not know. You are thinking I'm happy, but your so-called happiness is transient, impregnated with so much misery. At the dispense of material nature, nobody can have a happy. Nobody can have a fun and frolic, rest and relax. No. Because the intrinsic nature of material existence will create turmoil, annoyances, inconvenience. So nobody can be put rest on this material world. No. Despite our tenacious determination to stay in this transient home, we will be ejected ruthlessly at the time of death. Howsoever sophisticated environment we create, gorgeous arrangement we create by our economic development, by so-called scientific advancement and political maneuvering, we cannot become happy. We cannot surpass the onslaught of Maya, onslaught of birth, death, disease, old age. These are the obnoxious misery. They are the blockers. They are impediments for our happiness. Happiness only can attain in spiritual existence, in spiritual world with Supreme Lord. Therefore, that place is called Vaikuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. Vaikuntha means Vigata Kunta Jasmad iti Vaikuntha. This is absent of anxiety of all kind of inconvenience of life. Therefore, these acharyas are very glorious. Krishna himself said, Bhagavad Gita, most dearest is those who are preaching this gospel, preaching this message to others. And another places, many places in Bhagavatam also it is say very nicely that my dear King Yudhishthir, the Brahmanas, especially those engaged in preaching of the glories of the Lord throughout the entire world, are recognized, worshipped by Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the heart and soul of all creation. Brahmanas, by their preaching, sanctify the three worlds with the dust of their lotus feet. Thus, they are worshipable even for Krishna. See how they are exalted. Lord Krishna is admitted by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 869. Nacha tasman manusheshu kassin me priya kartama. The Brahmanas preach the cult of Krishna consciousness all around the world. And therefore, although they worship Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord also recognizes them as worshipable. The relationship is reciprocal. The Brahmanas want to worship Krishna and similarly Krishna want to worship Brahmana. In conclusion, Brahmana and Vaishnava were engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord must be worshipped by religionists, philosopher, people in general. See, that is the whole idea. That how, why this the acharyas are exalted. So this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a Vaikuntha man. When when the question was asked to Prabhupada, please say something about your Guru Maharaj. He told, what can I say about Guru Maharaj? He is a Vaikuntha man. So we will now learn about this great acharyas who appears in our disciplic succession of Gaudiya, Brahma Gaudiya Maudhya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya, disciplic succession, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So during this time of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, 200 years, very gloomy period of time in our disciplic succession. Because the Vaishnavas are not pure. They just make a rituals for their wages. They go attend the ceremonies, death ceremony and some chant, some mantra, that's all. They were not into preaching. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is the father and he is also Acharya, also father of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he wanted to revive this movement, Krishna consciousness movement, revive this preaching movement. So he started developing, started writing books, magazines, and started the Namahata Center, started to develop this Mayapur, the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then later on, his son Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whose appearance today we are celebrating, he took up it very seriously. And he established 64 mathas. And he published so many literature. He used to say that the publishing literature is very, very important. They are called Bruhat Mudanga. Bruhat Mudanga means the sound will be hard and far and wide. Everybody can understand this. Everybody can read the books, can enlighten. If we simply do Kirtan Sankirtan, maybe local people can be get benefited who are near to us. But by publishing literature, by publishing the books, educating people, for educating people, enlightening people, that will be spread, that will be propagated far and wide and can benefit maximum number of people. Therefore, it is termed as a Bruhat Mridanga. That is a major contribution to to the people in general, to the human society. Because in this material world, he used to say, in this material world, there are many publications every day, so many literatures, sports magazine, sex magazine, finance magazine, this magazine, all unnecessary material stuffs. So many newspaper magazine is going on. Spiritual world, which is a bigger, which is much bigger than material world. So many news are going on. Why not every day we publish? Why not every day we speak? Therefore, he was speaking every day. He was publishing every day some magazines, some literatures, so that people will read and get enlightened. That is the symptoms of a Paramahamsa. He's always wanted to speak and wanted to spread these glories. They're saying that this Paramahamsa devotee who have accepted the essence of life are attached to Krishna in the core of their heart. He is the aim of their lives. It is their nature to talk only of Krishna at every moment, as if such topics were newer and newer. They are attached to such topics just as the materialistic are attached to the topics of women and sex. So these are the things Paramahamsa devotee. They are always attached to topics. He used to talk like 30 days, like every day he used to talk Krishna Katha, enlighten people. Their aim is to spread. Prahlad Maharaj just say that, I do not want. I do not fear all the things. I do not want all liberation. I want to teach. I want to educate these fools who are thinking that they are so much entangled in Maya Sukhaya. Maya Sukha. the so-called illusory happiness. They are so much entangled, so much captivated, attracted. I want to teach them, educate them. So he refused to go to Vaikuntha with Narsingadev. He told, no, 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 I want to take them along with me. That was the Paropakara, Vaishnava Paropakara. Vaishnava are meant for Paropakara. One cannot be Acharya unless he is doing the Paropakara. It is stated, these beautiful verses, that the self-effulgent Vaikuntha planet, by whose illumination alone all the illuminating planet within the material world give off reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entity. Only person constantly engaged in welfare activity for other living entity can reach the Vaikuntha planet. So how much preaching is stressed. Therefore, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says that you preaching, whole idea to spread this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement. Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. पृथ्वी से अचे जतन गरादि कर्म सर्वत्र प्रचार होइबे मरना. Every city and town, every people you meet, you spread, you teach the teaching of Krishna. You just speak the teaching of Krishna. You repeat it. No need to manufacture anything. A devotee, bona fide acharya, bona fide devotee means just repeat the word of Krishna. That's all. Period. No need adding, no subtraction, nothing. Therefore, always emphasizing everybody now. Those who have got life, they can preach. And to preach, we must learn fast. We must practice. Without practicing, without hearing properly from spiritual master, one cannot speak. Therefore, one must hear, profusely hear from spiritual master and practice it and propagate it. That is the thing. That is real speech. Real, what is the Krishna say in this Bhagavatam 7:15? Austerity of speech. What is that austerity of speech? Krishna says, austerity of speech consists in speaking the word that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. That means Prabhupada written proper. One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the mind of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his student. But such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his student if he will agitate their mind. This is penance as far as talking is concerned. Beside that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circle is to say something upheld by scriptures. One should at once quote from the scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to ears. By such discussion, one may derive highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limitless talk of Vedic literature. One should study this. This is called penance of. So one should study and speak from the scriptures. That is real speech. Therefore, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's words, their missions, we should understand that. He wanted us to learn fast, hear fast, practice and preach. That is the thing. First of all, assimilated and applications, assimilation, application, then propagation. Propagate this message to everyone for the welfare of the human society. That was his mission. So today is the appearance day of the our great acharyas, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Will little bit of read about his advent, when he advent and all the things. There's a beautiful books, Ray of Vishnu is there. So in that Ray of Vishnu, we can see that his advent is given. So on the 5th day of dark lunar fortnight, the month of Govinda, corresponding on February 6, 1874 AD, by the Western calendar at 3:30 in the afternoon, Vimala Prasad Datta, later to be known as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, made his appearance in Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri, and in the state of Orissa, not far from the temple of Lord Jagannath. He was the fourth son of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Srijukta Bhagavati Devi. At the time of his birth, all 32 bodily symptoms of Mahapurush, a great personality, were pointed out by an experienced astrologer. Furthermore, the boy was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck like a Brahmin's thread. The astrologer commented at this birth, I have done so many horoscopes in my life, but I have never before seen such a horoscope filled with all signs of a great personality. This child will become a world famous as a brilliant teacher of life's ultimate goal. When child was 6 months old, Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra festival was in procession. The cart stopped in front of Bhakti Vinod Thakur's house for 3 days. Following the instruction of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhagavati Devi brought the child before the cart and offered garland and an offered garland fell from the neck of the Lord, encircling the boy. This was taken as a sign of special favor by all present. The grain ceremony was observed on the cart at this time and was done with Jagannath Prasad. When the boy's vocational inclination was tested, he immediately remembered Srimad Bhagavatam indicating his future as a preacher. Therefore, from the very beginning, his appearance Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur exhibited all sign of an exalted eternal associate of the Lord, who had descended in answer to Srila Bhakti Vinod's prayer, a ray of Vishnu, to help him spread the Krishna consciousness movement. See how exalted he is. From the birth only, he has got all the signs of great personality of God. Blessed by Lord Jagannath, born in Lord Jagannath place, Purushottam. How he was so much, it was already, uh, it is already from the birth, it has been already indication of his great personality, of a great personality. So we will read a little bit of his contribution summarized. The Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada especially commented on Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur powerful preaching against the casteism Sahaja, how effective he was like debunking this very strongly rooted influence in Indian cultural and religious tradition. This was practically one of his most important contributions, coupled with his constant axe blows against the impersonality and voidist. Just like Vaman Dev has called three legs expanded. He took everything from the Bali Maharaj. Similarly, with three kicks, I mean, his powerful preaching, he defeated the atheist, he defeated the impersonalist, he defeated the Sahajas. Sahaja means who thinks you take it very easily. In the pretext of a pure devotee, they take it very cheaply, everything cheaply. So all these impersonalist, voidist, all the atheist are voidist and impersonalist, and all this Sahaja was blown away, was thrown away, was kicked away by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He also did most to establish a unifying influence on various Vaishnava sects by stressing the point of agreement set by the four major sampradaya. He published the writing of other Vaishnava Acharya, especially Madhva Acharya, Srila Ramanuja Acharya, and also published account of their lives. In his travel throughout the India, especially South India, he enjoyed a reputation as an incredible powerful debater. He received the title Singha Guru, Lion Guru. Various proponents of Mayavadi school would cross the street rather than confront him, and he was known to accost such scholars and chastise them for cheating the innocent public with false philosophy. He do not like the falsehood. He told that a little bit of purity better than tons of impurity. Anywhere he found the falsehood, he will be kicked out. He will chastise, chase them out. He established 64 temples, 17 in Navadip, including 29 pinnacled Sri Chaitanya Matha, Sri Advaita Bhavan, Srivasangan, the last temple at the site of Jogapit, which was opened by the king of Tripura 1935. Swananda Sukanda Kun, the place of Bhajan Samadhi. So in this way, he established so many temples and mathas. Outside India, the temples were established in Rangoon, small center in London, in Germany. He always desired that to spread this Krishna consciousness movement or teaching of Lord Chaitanya throughout the world. He tried, and he also ordered Srila Prabhupada that you go, because you are very good in English, you go to our Western country and preach. And Prabhupada did it and made it successful. He fulfilled the desire of his Guru Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established many presses, printed thousands of books. In 1928, he even established daily newspaper called Nadia Prakash. When challenged how it was possible to publish a daily newspaper, see, he was daily newspaper. He was publishing a daily nnewspaper. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained how the world was a small place, only one quarter of the creation. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Ekam Sinastita Jagat, the 25% is material world, but 75% is spiritual world. If a 25% of the material world can create so many in daily newspaper, magazine, unnecessary, useless magazines, newspaper, why not? We can create daily newspaper. Every moment we can create newspaper for spiritual world compared to the spiritual, which comprises other three quarter. He further replied, here in this world there are thousands of newspaper and magazines reporting the stale and repetitious happening for of this limited space. So for reporting the news of unlimited spiritual realm concerning the eternal ever-fresh supreme personality of Godhead, we could publish a newspaper at every second. What to speak of daily? See how his thought, his mission, his mentality was there, his idea was there. He wanted to preach. Every moment he wanted to publish newspaper, enlighten, educate people. His presses were, there are so many presses he created. He published following magazines: Sajana Tosani, established in 1881 by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, later taken over by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, renamed as Harmonist, an English monthly. The Gaudiyas, his first magazine established in 1922, is the official weekly journal of the Gaudiya Math. Nadia Prakash established in 1926 as an English and Bengali magazine, but later a daily newspaper. The Bhagavat established in 1931. How many magazines, newspaper? He personally wrote over 108 essays and books list, and aside from this, he also published hundreds of articles in Sajanatasani, Nivedan, Gaudiya, Nadia Prakash. Apart from his own writing, he also published many other books, the Bhagavad Gita with commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, etc. 12 canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, commentary by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Madhva Acharya and other Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is Gaudiya Vasya. Sri Chaitanya Chandra, Navadipa, so many things he has translated, so many books to enlighten us. He met with many scholars, leaders, educators, established Krishna consciousness as a great science, worthy of highest esteem. So they never presented as a Krishna consciousness as a religion, something. No, it's science, scientific orientation, scientific understanding of this Krishna consciousness. Spirituality is not a sentiment, sentimental provocation. It's a science, science of Godhead. He had interviewed and debated with Acharya of other schools of thought. He was never defeated, thus establishing Achinta Veda Veda Tattva, philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the supreme doctrine of all time. He also propagated theistic display diorama exhibition in Kurukshetra. He used to display the diorama theistic exhibition so that people can relate, oh, what is this world? Who is Krishna? What is this Vaikuntha? What is this material world? By exhibition, diorama. This exhibition were free, were staged with help of toys, dolls, pictures, writing, even mechanical device for moving the dolls, describing the Leelas of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. Generally, these exhibitions were held for 15 days, but occasionally longer according to popular demand. He also established several important parikrama of Dham, especially Navadip Parikrama, Brajmandal Parikrama, which were both originally set in motion by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Setting the example as the greatest devotee of Krishna, the whole purpose of organizing this huge undertaking, in which thousands took part, was to arouse awareness of reality of the Lord pastime in the mind of the pilgrims. He also discovered many pilgrimage side of Lord Chaitanya and his associate and pastime. See, his whole idea to establish parikrama to awareness of the Lord pastimes, how to attract us by his wonderful pastime Lord enacted. See, all this thing to all this meant for all their activities, all their missions, all their ideas, all their preaching strategy to arouse Krishna consciousness. Dena tena prakarena Krishna Manaha Krishna Vishwasate. Some way or other arouse Krishna consciousness in our mind. That is the idea of all acharyas. Sri Saraswati Thakur always emphasized The very important point. The Saraswati Thakur always emphasized Kirtan and talks about Krishna, called his praise as a Brihat Murdanga, meaning the great Murdanga, which could be heard far and wide as opposed to the few blocks. He preached the theme of Daiva Varnashrama very vigorously in the line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as well as division of devotional writing into three categories: Sambandha, establishing one relationship with Lord; Avidya, acting according to one constitutional relationship with God; Provision, the ultimate goal of life, love of God. He particularly states on the line of thought coming down from Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, the Acharya of Abhidya, Pravajana Tattva respectively. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur was an innovator in many ways. Although sannyasi traditionally never used to any conveyance with the exception of Oscat, he rode in motor cars, motorized boat, etc. Although sannyasi never wore shun cloth, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his preacher on occasion wore overcoats, kurta, etc. He utilized the radio for broadcasting his message, sent sannyas over the sea, which was considered revolutionary. All of his innovation was strictly in the mood of spreading the glories of the Lord, engaging people in Krishna consciousness. He adhered strictly to the principle of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, but with a view to liberate people. His principle of renunciation was the type of described by the Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami Yukta Vairaga, engaging the illusory energy fully in the service of Krishna. For himself, he was never influenced by any desire for adoration, any sort of sense gratification, being an eternally liberated servitor of the Lord. See how he is a great innovator. He was not like a traditional kind of sannyas, tradition method. No, he utilize every modern things in the glories of the Lord, in the process of in the process of preaching Krishna consciousness movement, in process of educating people in spiritual life. That is his idea. Therefore, he accepted everything, but not for the personal sense gratification, for the elevating the human society, glorifying this Supreme Lord. For that purpose only. Armed with book of the Goswami Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he fought against the deviant sect like Aula, Baula, all the deviant sect, because people thinking dharma is adharma, adharma is dharma. People have no knowledge who is God, who is sadhu, all these things they do not know. So he driven away all these things, who is not a saint, who is a saint, who is God, who is not a God. Everything is cleared. It established the pure and pristine philosophy of the Lord, teaching of the Supreme Lord, as it is. So he driven away all these people, deviant Sahaja. His physical appearance was very tall. He had long arms, a slender body, broad forehead, aquiline nose, intense eye, golden complexion. He was full of ecstatic love of God. His presence was amiable, majestic. He was well versed in all subjects and scripture, having devoured and memorized many library, was called a living encyclopedia. He knew Sanskrit, Bengali, English, astronomy, many other branches of knowledge. He is called living encyclopedia. He was very courageous, had unlimited capacity for preaching. He was naturally decorated with 26 quality of pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada once commented when asked about his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, what can I say? He was a Vaikuntha man. He was a Vaikuntha man, a representative of the Lord. They comes for the benefit of the human society. They come to fulfill the mission of the Supreme Lord. On behalf of Supreme Lord, they come to reclaim the conditioned soul by educating them, enlightening them. That is their mission. So thank you very much on this very auspicious day. We should seek mercy of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati so that we can follow his instructions and enrich our spiritual life and elevate our spiritual life and ultimately go back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Transcendental Appearance Day ki jai. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Vaishnavacharya ki jai. Itai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki